dial, the world's on air. News is popping everywhere. Akai and Verm, we take the stage. Friends with headlines, turn the page. Just pure talk, it's what we do. Around the world, we bring it to you. Laughs and facts on your airwaves. Every story, every day. From sunny coasts to snowy peaks. Breaking news and the hottest leaks. We're your voice, we're your crew. The globe's in spin, we'll bring it to you. Just pure talk, it's what we do. Around the world, we bring it to you. Laughs and facts on your airwaves. Every story, every day. From whispers on the Hollywood floor to secret truths in corridor doors, breaking bounds in every zone. Our podcast is where the news has grown. Just pure talk, it's what we do. Around the world, we bring it to you. Laughs and facts on your airwaves. Every story, every day.
There we go, intro. I'm going to be doing a video on this. I've done one. Have you guys seen the Just Pure Talk, Jim Canna show video lately that I've created? Instead of having a song, I got it's a complete like video with pictures and stuff like that.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I got a feeling that you haven't seen it. How you doing, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? This is DJ Verm here. Yes, last week I wasn't there. I was at a 3-day meeting, and today I was sick. So
It's okay. We missed you. Even if it seemed otherwise, we did miss you.
Yeah.
It's not good to lean on one side of the merry-go-round or, the seesaw too often. Then you end up getting stuck over there.
You can't believe it.
You got to have some balance, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So talking about balance, just want to let you all know that we have Rootless Wrestlers, who are our partners, Débosselage, Marcel Ferrand, CSL, Location and Sound, Pit Stop Performance, Inc., and SL Photograph, who is now partnered up with Verm's Productions. So, and our show, our podcast. So, thank you very much, everybody, for being there for us. So, how are you doing, Truck Sam? I heard you weren't there last week.
I was doing overnight, so I was wasn't up at the time when you guys had the show. So, let Akai know about it, so he must not have passed it on. But otherwise, I'm doing fine.
Doing fine. Anything that's on your plate lately? You've been gone so long?
No, just love the drive. But I did find out some interesting information a day or two ago. In about 2 months, they're going to have a major crackdown end of June, that will basically, if you don't speak, understand, or write English, you will be ticketed. They're doing a nationwide crackdown on CDL drivers.
Oh, okay. Oh, congrats. At least you're going to have less drivers that won't know how to talk English.
Well, it's more because if they don't understand it, how they reading the signs, and how they obeying the laws, and do they see a bridge that says a 10-ton weight limit, and they're 40-ton vehicle, and they think they can go drive over it? No. It's all about safety. It's not trying to go after a certain thing. It's basically, you need to understand the signs you're reading so you can be safe about it. It's like me coming up to your country. I'd have to learn your language and how to read your signs, or I probably wouldn't be able to drive on your roads that long, would I?
No, yeah. Well, totally. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure. You
their
gotta
signs are in
understand
two
what you're doing.
languages, though.
Not all of them. I've actually met a lot of drivers that got up there and they said some of the signs are still in French, definitely like the way stations.
Okay.
So it's like, that, I've
What
never
I'd
been up there.
what I'd say is they have twice as many opportunities to get it right in Canada. They only have one opportunity to get it right in the United States. It's either English or nothing else. And I'm not saying that shouldn't is bad or good. I mean, there's a lot of people that come from other countries to drive truck in our country.
Yes.
However, I think the programs that have put them there are from many presidents ago, and they um,
Eh,
really didn't set them up for success.
no, but I see your point about that. I have no issue, but it's like, you know, they know that, hey, we only have English as the signs out here. Unless you're getting down by the border of Mexico, then they do kilometers. I'll never figure that one out. But it's something where, if you're coming to a country, you need to learn the language. It's like if I go to the vacation, I'd have to learn the language or have some way to translate it. And there's some translated software out there that's great.
Aren't you
So
guys?
it's like, go ahead.
No, sorry. I go. Aren't you guys the only country now that is in miles still? Everybody's now in metric. If you want, that's maybe why you're asking. That's the reason why you're asking why Mexico is in kilometers, because we're all in kilometers.
No, no, no. What he was saying is down in the southern end of Texas, they're in kilometers,
Hmm.
while still in
Yeah,
the United States, and
Oh,
it's
yeah, but
kind of it's kind of atypical.
yeah, it's the same thing as like going down to Nogales because where I came out of was Nogales, Arizona, and when you get on
okay,
I
okay,
nineteen, you actually see the miles, but also the next time would show kilometers.
okay,
It's
okay.
like
Well,
it's really weird. It's like, huh?
I mean, I don't think too much about it as long as the stuff gets delivered and our truck drivers are getting paid. I'm not really concerned about what the other truck drivers speak to, as long as they're not breaking the laws and as long as they're delivering what they're supposed to, and not, like I said, breaking any laws on their way here.
Yeah, but they need to understand the language to understand the laws.
I
That's what
see.
this is all
I
about.
would say that that's not necessarily true, and here's why I would say that, because you could see 65 miles per hour, and you don't necessarily have to understand English to know that that means 65 miles per hour, and to know how fast 65 miles per hour is on your speedometer.
okay.
That's why a lot of them have the dual speed limit. They got kilometers and they got the miles per an hour.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying. Like, let's use us in Iraq for example. When we're in Iraq, we have speed limits there that are in kilometers per hour. But we all pretty much know those speeds in miles per hour. It might be 115 kilometers an hour, or whatever. Well, we know that's 72 or whatever it happened to be at the time. I don't remember off the top of my head. And yeah, you're going to remember it's 115, but when you see 115, you think 72. And forgive me if I'm not 100% precise. So the thing that we're not really seeing is um, yeah, they may not look at the sign, but if you see it 65 and you see MPH and you look at your speedometer and it's at 65 MPH, I'd be more worried about the stop signs. But stop is pretty uniform
Okay.
among many languages. Uh,
Yeah.
in Arabic, it's keef with upwards hand motion. Um, and it's I don't know if I think we're making maybe too big of a deal about it.
No, actually, 'cause there's been a couple of incidents where drivers have gone over bridges that have weight limits,
Okay.
and it was something where, and they exceeded the weight limit by 4 to 10 times, but I think it almost caused the bridge to collapse. It's like they need to be able to read. Okay, this is not a truck route. You know, be able to look at a map and be able to, see, hey, route I need to take is not a truck safe route, or it has low clearances. Because they're found out some of these, they don't even know how high the truck is, and they're slamming into bridges too. So that's the issue.
To me, that's just comedy hour. Like,
well, do you know how much a truck and trailer costs just by itself? I mean,
a lot.
You're looking at about $300,000 for truck is looking at about 200,000. Like the reefer unit I have, you're looking at never 100,000. So you're looking at $300,000 just for that.
Money, eh?
Yeah, it is, and it's like, and to repair that damage, and we're built to take a little damage, but when we're hitting like a bridge or something, that causes other problems like structural issues to the bridge.
Well, let me ask you a question.
And
are you raising your hand to let people drive your truck?
No.
Okay, so the people that are not smart enough to make sure that the people that they're letting drive their trucks know how to drive their trucks, that sounds like comedy hour to me. Because if you're going to give someone a $500,000 piece of equipment that doesn't properly know how to drive it, I'm going to say you stupid. Because you shouldn't be doing that.
Stupid,
and if you want to piss away your money into the wind like that, you can go ahead and piss away your money.
A lot of these people
I don't feel bad for them.
Foreign countries, and they escape all liability issue too. Because there's one guy that caused a major accident. The owner of the company took everything he had in cash and went to another country that didn't have extradition, and they can't get the guy back here to prosecute him, and they can't get nothing for the family that got hurt. So,
and I agree that's very
not comedy.
As I said, what I find funny about it is the fact that they're not testing these people. They're not going to just go give Verm keys to drive a truck. And Verm, I don't know if you can drive a truck. My dad drives a truck, and I wouldn't drive a truck.
No, I don't.
You wouldn't catch me in one.
No.
Like, I might know how to go through the gears. I've been doing it since I was a kid, but I don't know. You won't catch me in it because it's for one, it's not my chosen career field, and for two, I like to do things that require more typing on keyboards. That's why I work on computers. And there's nothing against truck drivers. My dad's done it my whole life. My dad has been hit like a dozen times down in the southern areas. They'll clip him the front of his truck and stuff, and it's four-wheelers hitting the trucks.
And they always try to blame.
They try to blame everyone else. Fortunately, my dad has good dash cams, and the dash cams always prove him wrong. That he didn't do anything wrong. The point I'm making is if you are not vetting your drivers good enough such that you can trust them, you as a company should be held responsible.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's something where a lot of these people that start up these companies, news stations, I found a lot of stuff on YouTube about that, where a lot of these companies that start up, they try to basically get drivers cheap, make a profit, and if something goes wrong, they shut it down and they go somewhere else where they can't get prosecuted.
So it sounds like how Israeli does cyber warfare. They have a company that does stuff, and when they get caught, those people get slapped on the wrist and they move to another company.
Yep.
At the end of the day, there's not much. And at the end of the day, there's not much we can do about it. All we can do is we can complain about it. I'm not going to put my effort into complaining because all I can do is hopefully that I vote for someone that'll do better at that level. And unfortunately for me, most of where that happens at is down far south, and I don't carry a vote down there. I carry a single vote down there. It's for the president. I don't vote for the House down there. I don't vote for the Senate. I don't vote for the governors or anything, because I live up in the north, closer to Verm guy up here. I am much closer to Verm guy in voting than I am to where you are at, Truck Sam. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll just take my licks and hopefully I don't get run off the road someday, and just be aware of what's going on around me. Because if the truck's going to drive like an idiot, just get out of his way. Because
Well,
it's better to be live and tell the story.
true. But the only thing is, it's like them people that drive bad give us, the good drivers, bad reputation.
Only amongst community. Only amongst the community that would know that there's good and bad drivers, because my dad's a driver. I know that there's bad drivers. I know you're not one of them.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know how many speeding tickets he's had.
I don't know.
20 years?
I just joined in.
3.
How many speeding tickets you got? Okay.
How many speeding
3.
tickets do I have?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Wow. The last time I got a speeding ticket, it's been years. It's been over a decade.
Maybe it's because we're getting old.
No, I just drive faster.
I
honestly think. That's gonna sound bad. I honestly think the reason why I get away with a lot of stuff while I'm driving is because of my license plates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's not kidding. He has vet license plate. I get away with a lot with mine too. The cop will see you.
I'm not
He'll
abusing
flash his
it.
lights, and then you'll slow down, and then he just goes about his business.
Wow.
I'm not abusing it. I'm just, you got 500 things going on in a day, and everybody does. Everybody does. But, he doesn't, the last time I got pulled over, it was, do you know how fast you were going? I do, but I'm not saying.
I'm not
the last time I got a ticket was in Wyoming, and I was flying. Like, should have probably gone to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a big ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you're in excess of, was it 35 or 45 miles of the speed limit? You go to jail.
Dangerous drive, yeah.
And
who are you running from?
I kind of blame it on my wife, because she said, "Don't take your truck, take my car. It
Her
uses
car
less
goes
gas."
Yeah, but it
But
goes
her
so
car-
much faster.
No, but back then she had like a little sports car,
Oh,
that thing would fly. You could just be chit chatting across, and I had a person with me. Another one of my sister-in-law's husband was with me, and we were chit chatting on that thing up there, and blah blah blah. Two guys. It's late at night. It's like 8-9 o'clock at night, and we're bebopping through Wyoming trying to get to an aunt's house for a baby shower the next day or something. And of course, we had all the presents in the back of the car, for the baby shower, and I came through Chugwater, Wyoming, and that's it. Bubblegum machine done hit the jackpot, baby. It was red, white, and blue behind me, and it was way back there. I mean, but I'm the only guy on the highway, so I know it's for me. So I just pull over and wait.
did that earn you brownie points then?
It kind of did, I think, because he's like, why were you going so fast? I go, this car is so easy. You could just be talking and it just keeps going in speed and speed and speed and speed. And I go, I told my wife I wanted to bring my truck because its max speed is 80, and if I'd been driving my truck, I'd have been doing 80, which would have been 5 miles over the speed limit. I'd been fine. So I got a large ticket and I gladly paid it because the officer let me leave that night. So
He did?
yeah.
Technically,
He was kind.
anything over 20, they can impound the car and take you to jail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that I know that, they're going to have to catch me. It's gonna be like, what was that song they had there for a while? You know, some. Oh gosh, I can't remember it. Something race. I used to play it when I was on the radio station every once in a while. Yeah. Stroker Ace. Stroker Ace. It'll be like that, baby.
Throw that music on and woo.
Yeah, that's the problem. So now I listen to podcasts and books on tape.
Yeah, do you listen to our podcast?
I do.
Okay, good.
And I listen to podcasts, and I listen to YouTube people that I follow, and I just put book on tape, you know, type of thing, and I set the cruise control at 5 miles over or just at the speed limit, and I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I've learned over the years, unless you're like flying, like doing almost double the speed limit, you're not really making up any time.
No.
Yep.
No. You're not. You're not making that much.
No.
Not to pay a ticket, because I see people zooming by me. Wow. And I end up going to the red light with him. And then he'll go to the next one. And then I'm backing up, back in his back going, hey, buddy, you just done 135, 145 on the auto route. For us, it's kilometers. And
that would I think that's going to be the hard thing I'm going to have to switch when I come up. Is I'm going to have to pull over on the side of the road once I get through the customs. And I'm going to have to pull over and make sure I set my speedometer to kilometers.
Yeah, I do exactly the same thing when I go in the States.
Because
I have no choice. You guys are in miles.
Yeah.
So,
but it's your fault.
Yeah. No, not mine.
Well, kinda.
No.
Why? You know, the French people were bringing us the metric system, and the English caught that French ship, and the guy died in prison, so we never got the metric system. So, honest to God truth, you could look it up.
One damn province.
History
French,
facts with Akai.
Right, there's one province that is French. The rest is English. So I mean, it's English. It's Canada in a whole. Not just
it's Canada's kind of like French English. So
no, they're bilingual. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, parts of Canada are English and parts of Canada are French.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not too much on the map. There's Quebec, French. Do got a couple of cities in Ontario that are French.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's English.
So, do you guys study Napoleonic law there?
I don't remember that.
Because I know, and the reason I'm thinking of this is because my mind's scattered to four winds because I've been welding and working all day. But Louisiana, huge French influence, cuisine, people, language, Creole, that whole deal going on down there, right?
Yeah.
They don't. Their legal system is Napoleonic law.
Yeah.
But it's the only state in the nation that does that.
But you have to remember that they're more French from France, so maybe it's something with France.
Well, Quebec didn't become French from Canada. French came from France.
No, yeah, but it's not the same thing. I mean, no, we have our own dialect. French people from France don't even understand us.
Well, it's because it's changed over the years, and that's the same thing with, where you get down in Louisiana, you get into Creole, where it's kind of a mix between, French and
Creole person, French Creoles, when they speak French, they don't speak French like from us.
That's a totally different version.
They speak French. They've changed the dialogue over time, but they still speak French with France.
It's like Spanish, right?
Yeah.
If you live in Spain, you speak a totally different style of Spanish than if you live in, Colombia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it all originated from one area.
No, for sure. I mean, it kick-started somewhere. I mean, for sure, the French came here and colonized Quebec. I mean, it was and there was the revolution where it was the French people that were that took over Quebec or whatever, some of that. But I mean, technically, the French now is nowhere close to French from France, but we are buddies with France. But I mean,
Well, I think that's what a French rifle.
Oh, you have a French rifle?
Yeah, it's never been fired and only dropped once.
Are you serious? Wow.
Because I think all the French people, and here's my thing on this. Give me some leeway on this one, Verm. I think all the French people sent all their hard asses and bad asses to Canada to do the fur trade, to do the mining, to scrape out a life in the middle of nowhere. And then all the people that stayed in France just stayed there.
Oh, yeah.
So all the hard dudes went where you're at.
Is he just going to keep disconnecting and reconnecting or what?
Yeah. It's an equipment problem.
He needs to pull over when he has a good service problem.
It's an equipment problem. And he'll get mad because I said it's an equipment problem. But because he thinks I'm blaming his equipment. But it's everybody's equipment along the route.
T-Mobile or Verizon or whatever.
Yeah, it's all the phone companies and all the cell towers keep dropping him. And
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, and then so what else has been going on, guys?
Well, I was going to ask you. I asked Truck Sam what happened. We kicked off with a lot of stuff before I even said hi to Doc. So, Doc, what's going on? Doc was showing his backslash of, his whole family and children and all his saloon or whatever you call it there. And then I told him to put a backslash in the back. So.
You mean a backdrop?
Yeah, backdrop, and he was not happy.
Oh, you had all your.
I don't care. I go. I know
you had your life going on behind you.
Yeah, you had the.
Well, this is what he's talking about. The baby's not even back there.
No, I didn't say the baby was it. Look, that's
just stuff back there. It is what it is. There's no one back
kind of
there.
like this disaster back here, but
I mean,
if he wants to leave it like that, I don't care. It's just that people see what's in the back. I only have phones, so
they can come over and they can talk to me about.
I don't even know how to change that.
You go to the cog and you do virtual backgrounds.
Oh, virtual backgrounds.
Yeah, virtual backgrounds. Okay.
And there's only one or two to start with. There's like a brick wall. You could blur the background. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, that's the blurred background. Okay, so, is it really worth? Can you make your own virtual background?
Yeah.
You can.
You can. See, I could have this as a background. See, there we go.
Ooh, this could be fun.
See, I got our logo in the background.
And I'm doing like shit, but we're not going to talk about it on here.
No, I could see you're not really, I told him at the beginning because I've listened to your show last week, and I said that you guys were happy that it wasn't there because you were able to talk. I go, maybe I should take off a couple of weeks.
Yeah, is that what you want to do?
If you want to take off a couple of weeks, take off a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The show will be fine with or without you.
Yeah, that's a song, eh? With or without you.
I'll work on that background thing later. That'll have to be interesting to see if I can get something to work. It'll have to be something. It'll have to be something spicy.
Look, I got something in the
spicy.
back.
Yeah, I like that one. I've always liked that picture.
It's a logo. Sorry, it's a Vermland Radio logo.
Too bad the guy that made it went off the deep end, but oh well.
Which guy was that one?
I'm not going to bring up his name.
No.
Is it the one that I think it is?
Uh-huh.
The one that ratted other people out?
No,
he's not that talented.
So how are you going today?
Dude, I had a buddy of mine, an older gentleman, was pulling people out. He loves pulling people out when it snows and people get stuck in ditches and stuff like that. Well, he got stuck last time and somebody pulled him out, but didn't pull him out correctly and ripped his bumper off.
That's good.
So I had to cut his bumper mounts off and strengthened some replacement ones. We strengthened with some 1/4-inch plate. So I put them on the mill and had to plasma cut them out and then weld them back onto the truck and then mount the bumper and get all the wiring done. And so that's been my day. And then I had to run across town to my kid's baseball game, which by the time I got there and found a spot to sit, and then they called it for lightning. And when they do a lightning call, it's a 30-minute hold. So I jumped back in the truck and drove all the way back across town so I could get here late.
That's a good story.
That's my day today. I have just been going well, and Doc called me earlier, and I wish I could have spent more time on the phone with him, but I was so busy trying to get that stuff welded and put together and wiring that I couldn't do it. And then so I was like, I will talk to him later on the show and see how he's doing.
Yeah. Doc's not doing well.
Yep. Doc's worried about a lot of things in his life right now. And can we talk about it, or is it?
You can.
And so my understanding is you had some seizures.
I did.
And so now they've told him he can't drive, and he's got to wait for a neurologist
on Friday.
Which, for a man, and for men, that's a big blow.
Yeah.
That is a big blow when you have to depend on somebody else to do the stuff that you do for your family. And
that's hard. Yeah. Understand.
And I definitely know how that feels. I've been dealing with it for years. There is no easy way out of it. You just got to persevere and keep going forward. So,
well, I put in PTO for work for the rest of the week. So,
yeah, and they should be understandable, right?
They have been up to this point. I helped the board of director here today, anyways. Yeah. So we'll figure out how that goes. I should get paid for the whole week.
They should understand that. Like, hey, I had a medical thing. I had a seizure.
And I didn't have one seizure. I had two.
Yeah.
I had one in the morning and one in the evening on Sunday.
Oh.
And I still can't use my left shoulder.
Oh yeah, you're sure? Yeah.
I can't raise my left arm.
Oh, okay. Oh, are you serious? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And
so
it's a big blow.
Yeah, a seizure is not a heart attack, but it's still part of the heart.
Yeah, it's heart and brain and
yes. To me, it's worse than a heart attack. It has to do with your brain.
Yeah, it's something. Something neurological, or could have been something you ate, or.
Are you serious? Yeah, that bad? Yeah.
It can be something you eat.
If you have seizures on a regular enough basis, you're not allowed to drive. There's a lot of things you're not allowed to go do anymore.
The state of North Dakota, because there's two in such a short period of time, I can't drive for 90 days, but I'm going to get that changed on Friday. Because if I can't drive, I also can't work. And if I can't work, then my wife and child can't survive.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a seizure while I was driving. I had a seizure while I was sleeping twice.
Oh, yeah?
So it seems, well, if you could say that.
I don't know.
Have you been under a lot of stress lately?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Okay. So, and you haven't been eating anything weird?
That I'm aware of.
And so it's time to get those. Yeah, they're probably gonna run a bunch of scans and stuff on you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, figure out what's going on.
They already did 2 CT scans on me, and both CT scans came back normal. So that's a feather in my cap.
That's good.
There's nothing actually wrong. It's just something is wrong. But at least it ain't my brain.
Yeah. So something's causing it.
Mm-hmm. And I wish Sam was here. You could probably put my shoulder back in place so I could use it.
Hey, what's up, Rock Force? Yeah, I'd help you put
Rock
your shoulder
Force.
back in. Yeah, it's too bad we live too far apart.
And I can't drive.
So he can't go see you. He can't drive.
I don't think I can get caught driving. If I have to go to work, I'll go to work anyways. I don't let me be honest. They'll end up giving me some medication that'll stop it from happening again. It's the VA. I will probably get service connected for it.
It's probably from all that crap we were playing with in the desert.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No, I'm not. I'm laughing because I mean,
Dude, there's a lot of stuff that has been dumped in that desert. Not
Over
just
the last-
us.
Over the last
But
15,000 years, sir, they've been dumping stuff in that desert for 15,000 years.
There's a lot of stuff. Like, I'd be out there digging positions and come across all just crazy stuff.
Oh yeah.
Vehicles, military vehicles, weapons, helmets. In the middle of nowhere.
And there's actually a whole study on it. I could share this. We actually have a pretty high post-traumatic epilepsy is what typically happens, and I've been diagnosed with TBI a long time ago. We're at 6.7 per 1,000.
I have never been tested for my TBI yet, but I'm already at 100%, so I don't know what they could do for me.
Oh, you can get to 170% and you'll get another chunk of money. Not that you want to go down that road.
No, I don't, because then they start messing with you and putting you on medication, and they've already been messing with my brain before because I get chronic migraines. And
exposure to nerve agents can induce seizures, and psychological trauma can trigger non-epileptic seizures. So, I thought I'd make it to 40.
Yes, Rock Force, that would be the Middle East.
And my job requires me, Samurai, to go into office. So as much as I'd like to work from home, it'd be something that I didn't sign up for to begin with. And unless the new CEO is hip hop the trot to let me work from home, that would be that.
Maybe he could do it for a week or two,
But they're linking it to burn put exposure.
Which that's what got me to my 100%.
That got me to my 100%. Well, that got me to my 100% too.
Okay.
So they were burning every matter of waste. Everything from fecal matter to medical waste to munition waste to chemical weapons to everything.
To put in perspective, my Sunday was a 40% rating with the military. Just Sunday. That's a 40% increase in rating.
Okay.
And
crazy.
So we'll have to see where that goes. We wish you the best, though. We really do.
Yeah, we do. Well,
I think if I work from home, I would spend less money.
Well, for sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't be spending it all on gas.
I mean, I don't spend a lot on gas already as it is.
Yeah, that car's pretty. It sits.
Yeah, it's not. The Highlander hybrid does get really good gas mileage.
Unlike my truck.
Well, I want one of those trucks too, which is funny.
Unlike Verm's truck.
I love it.
That it gets really bad gas mileage. What are you getting on gas mileage on your truck now, Verm?
About 13. I would say about 13 liters a kilometer.
Does he have a Honda truck or what?
What's
No, I have
13
that
limit?
Silverado.
What's 13 kilometers to the liter? I don't even know how to put that into miles per hour.
Google it.
30 miles a gallon.
You're getting 30 miles to the gallon in that truck?
Yeah. Yeah, but was it good?
That's insane.
Well, I bought the I'm going to say the new Silverado, but I bought the motor where it has it goes from 4 to 6 to 8 horsepower.
Cylinders. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, cylinders.
Oh, okay.
You're right, cylinders. And when I'm in the city, it becomes like a car. That's where it's cheaper. I mean, or when I'm in the high road. Sorry, when I'm in the high road, I'm a little bit more cheaper because my truck is going to go down to 4 cylinders. Hey, see you, Rock Boys. Thanks. So we go down to 4 cylinders. So that's the reason why it balances. When I pull something, that's different. We go up to 28. When I pull my camper, 28. Why are you laughing, Akai?
Because I just put mine in to the formula. 11 miles per gallon. Okay. It's 0.213831 liters per kilometer. Which basically says my truck sucks. It's gonna cost me a bloody fortune to come to Canada.
You might be better off flying.
I crossed the border. There's going to be a fuel shortage.
Why am I not getting to Verm and I had to tank 2 times? Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean it cost me $300 to fill up again?
Again, yeah. Well, you have your camper and all that on that. That's for sure. It's more heavy.
I do, and I have a lot of equipment on my truck, but it gets 11 miles to the gallon, which is not bad for what it does.
No,
it's
but
actually
when it does,
it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The new one I want is the one by AT Overland that goes on a 1-ton diesel, and it goes onto a flatbed, their flatbed camper system.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have that one, but they start at about 80,000, and then you got to buy the truck.
Well, all pickups are freaking cost a lot now.
The next time I buy a truck, I'm going to get a fleet.
Why a fleet?
Because it comes with roll-up windows, vinyl flooring, basic seats, and about half the price. I'm going to buy a fleet truck because it's not. I end up tearing everything off anyways. If I go out and get a Toyota Tundra, let's say, and I get a TRD Pro or whatever, I end up tearing all that crap off and put my own on because the stuff I want on is better.
So why pay for it in the first place?
Why should I pay for it? I should might as well just buy the base truck and then modify it and save 30 grand.
Well, yeah. Especially they kind of cost a lot.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is 2018 when I bought mine. It was $58,000.
Yeah, my truck is 95.
Yeah.
It comes out. I didn't pay 95, but it comes out to 95,000. Yeah, fully equipped like it is.
Yeah, trucks have just gotten hideous, man. Yeah. That's why I have high hopes for this. I want to see this $10,000 Toyota truck hit the market. But a lot of people said it won't hit the United States market because all the other manufacturers are freaking out over it.
Why?
Because they can't compete. Build your own truck. could do that. It's legal.
It is?
Yeah, as long as I start with an existing, I believe I have to start with an existing chassis, like an existing frame.
Okay.
And then from there I can modify. And as long as it meets all the legal requirements, when you go to get it registered, then it's no issues.
There you go.
And I tend to build to the overkill side, so I want the bigger brakes. I want the better brakes. I want the better transmission, the better engine, the better headlights, all that stuff. I want the better safety equipment.
Well, you're better off.
I want 5-point harnesses instead of a seatbelt. I want a full roll cage that I don't have to duck to get into my truck.
You do have a nice truck. I don't think I rode it the last time I was there, actually.
No,
I didn't.
Nope. And then
Summary says how much weight do you have on your truck?
how much weight do I have in my truck?
Yeah.
8,000 pounds at least.
So much weight that I had to contact a company to have custom leaf springs made for the rear end.
Ooh.
Because I was doing the Carolina squat. And so I had them beef the rear axle up a ton.
Okay.
So I got a 10-leaf military pack on the back. And it's absolutely lovely. And then I changed out the front brakes to Power Brake or something like that. They're out of South Africa. Power Brake. I think it's Power Brake. Okay. Phenomenal brakes. Oh my God. Night and day from Toyota. But I'm hauling a lot of weight and I haul trailers with it. So I needed better brakes. Now I need better rear brakes. Because I'm burning out a set of rear brakes 3-to-1, 4-to-1. I'll burn out 4 rear brakes before I even touch my pads up front. So they need to be bigger and have more heavy duty. And I'll upgrade those here later. And then I upgraded all the suspension on the truck. I put King suspension all the way around with the remote reservoirs. Mm-hmm. Which I like remote reservoirs, and because they're one-click adjustable, and I can go out and literally make my suspension softer or harder just by rotating a dial. So if I'm cruising down the highway and I just want a nice ride like you're riding in a Cadillac, I can go all the way to the soft side, It's just beautiful. And then when I'm up in the mountains crawling around, I switch to suspension so it's a little harder.
Talking about mountains, how's it going on your piece of land?
I finally got an outhouse drug in. I had to build an outhouse, put it on top of my truck, drive it up into the mountains. Part of the build for the outhouse is I made the floor a sled out of some 4x4s and 2x4s. And I took that and I loaded all the components for the outhouse on. I had a very nice friend who gave me one of those plastic garden sheds, one of those lifetime garden sheds that you could stand up in, that he was like, "Hey man, I don't need it. I'm going to throw it away." And I'm like, "Sweet, I'll take it." And I built a composting toilet in there, and I drug all the pieces with my son all the way to where the cabin site is, and because you can't put an outhouse in, it's against the law.
Okay.
As a traditional outhouse would go, where you would just dig a pit in the ground and put the outhouse over it.
Yeah.
And then when it fills, you just move to a new pit. They want you to use a vault, and it's hard enough for me to get a truck up there. I'm not going to get a truck with a concrete vault and a pump truck up there. It's not going to happen. So my options are, composting toilet. So I built a composting toilet, and it has a wonderful view. If you like pooping in the woods, it's got an excellent view. You see the mountains and the pine trees, and it's really nice.
That's good. You're pooping with the mountains.
I'm pooping in the mountains, baby. I had to put it by the cabin, and I got it on a sled. So if I don't like where it's at, I can just go, I'm going to move it over there. Or if it smells too much, I'm going to move it that way downwind. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I got an excavator. Hopefully this week is going to call me, and we can go up there and take a look at the property and see how much it's going to cost me to get some stuff dug. Because the wife does not want me up there with heavy equipment.
No.
She's afraid I'm going to go rolling down the mountain. So.
Well, she's allowed to be afraid.
Yeah. She's like, it's been so long since you've done that stuff. And I'm like, and that's the one thing, when you rent heavy equipment, do you know how to use it? You think you can learn it. But, with a lot of that heavy equipment, it's not like you're just going up there and you're just digging out and throwing dirt everywhere. There's a plan to it. Like when you go to build a road,
yeah,
you're actually building the road in front of your machine. And you're driving on the road that you've just made. So it's not like you're, pitched on the, side of a mountain trying to dig this thing out. You're already on a flat level road doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Technically, yeah.
But no, I'm excited.
So you're having fun with your life.
I am. And my wife got a call today. Somebody wants to buy the property. So she said, make us an offer. And we'll see.
Which property?
The property in the mountains. Somebody wants to buy it already.
Oh, okay. So somebody wants to buy it off you. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, make us an offer. Make us an offer we can't refuse.
Well, I mean, no, you're right.
No, make it worth my time and money. And I'm looking at another piece of property out in North Carolina. So.
Yeah.
How close is that one to Fort Bragg?
Far, far away. Far, far away. It's out by the coast. It's off a freshwater river that leads to Kitty Hawk. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can have fresh water passing
through
the line?
It's the house is 1.6 miles down a dirt road from the main road.
So it's about exclusivity.
It's about quiet. It's about peace of mind.
Well, yeah.
It's about being left the F alone.
Don't bother me, man.
No, living in the city's fine. Don't get me wrong. People love living in the city. I love living in the country. I like being out to do my own thing and, make my way and I help my neighbor and whatever, right? But when you live in town, you got the noise just never stops. It's never like truly quiet.
No.
And you, when you go camping, when you're just by yourself or you're out in a place that there's hardly anybody at, and you get that true quiet at night where like you can hear the animals, you can hear the insects, you can hear, you can hear everything.
Uh-huh.
And I miss that terribly.
Yeah, because you used to live in a farm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could tell somebody was driving up to my house just by, when they turned onto my driveway because their vehicle crunched the gravel and it made a vibration. You could feel it in your feet. But when you're in town, you're just desensitized to that because everything's vibrating. People are constantly moving. There's vehicles driving by all the time. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I love
So,
countryside too. I love camping.
are you doing any camping this year?
Well, we're supposed to. My wife is after me to try it because I have 8
Because did
rodeos to go.
you get rid of your membership at your camping thing?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm a mobile now. I just go all over. I go wherever I want.
Yeah.
Well, come to North Dakota.
Kind of far away.
It's closer than Colorado.
How many hours?
For you? Probably like 12, 14 hours.
Oh, that's not that bad. I read down Florida by car, so.
Florida would be nice. Florida's a hook for me too.
Yeah.
But we live in some pretty big countries.
Yeah.
It's not like we live in Europe where we're like, oh, we could meet in Paris next week. I'll just jump on the train.
You're right.
You
You're right. There's a lot of kilometers. Yeah.
You know, I could be living in Germany and you could be living in Spain and we could meet in Paris, you know, and it would be no big deal.
Crazy, eh?
But when you hear, you're like, oh, man. Because did I look at it? What was it last time? Did I look it up before?
I don't know. What are you looking up?
I want to see how far it is to drive. So for me to drive to your general area, not your exact address, but your general area, is 29 hours.
Yeah. Same thing as almost the same thing as if you're going to Florida from my home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like 30 something hours, Florida.
From Montreal to Minneapolis, it's about 19 hours.
But if I was to fly, 5 hours and 25 minutes.
Well, for sure. And then you just rent a car.
If I fly, you're picking me up at the airport. And you better have flowers.
Flowers and chocolate? I'm gonna have the flag, the Vermland radio flag. My God, man, freaking chocolate. God, that power. Yeah, rodeo this weekend.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun for you. You really enjoy those.
Yeah, so working on the weekend.
Are the kids competing?
Yeah, my youngest is going to be competing at that one, so we're going to see him.
Nice.
And us, we're working in the back end. And if you all want to go see what's going on, we are now streaming it on TikTok. And I know you don't like TikTok, so.
Nope, it is what it is. TikTok is a necessary evil of the world.
No, but it's the only place I could stream and not get hit by copyright.
So is there a TikTok Canada? Is it broken up? Like, is there like a Canadian TikTok? And
there must be.
Kind of like, like Amazon. You go to Amazon Canada and you go to Amazon US and Amazon Germany. And
yeah, it must be the same thing. Yes, there must be a TikTok Canada. I never checked on it because I just got on TikTok. That's all.
Yeah.
But we went up in numbers. We're at 2005, 2006 members that joined the TikTok page. It's a reason why we're allowed. It's a reason why we're allowed to do some live, and mainly all the people that are in our in the rodeo association are really happy because they can see what's going on.
Yeah,
so we just shoot a camera and we stream the whole day. So if you want to go see what's going on, you want to see what it is. It's the best way to see it. Because I can't stream it on either. I cannot stream it on other platforms, or I'd have to shut.
No, Facebook and all those guys will shut you down immediately because they get a copyright strike because of the music.
Yeah, because there's music in the back end. We do music, so we're gonna get a copyright. I don't know.
But-
I don't know who else.
But they're just trying to protect themselves from American laws.
Yeah. But TikTok, you're allowed. It should be the same problem, but you're allowed for some reason.
Hmm.
It's crazy, eh? Yeah.
Yep.
So we started up earlier, so it's already that time, an hour passed already.
And my supper's getting cold on the table.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's what
we have 8 more minutes.
Ladies
Huh?
and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Like usual, Ruthless Wrestlers has given us a code. If you want to have a 10% off on any clothing, go see them at www.ruthlesswrestlers.com. Use the code word Verm fans dash RR10 and you get a 10% off on the whole bill.
Which is nice. Also,
Which is
please
nice.
like and subscribe and follow us on all the platforms. We really do appreciate it, and thank you for supporting us. But if you'd like to support us some more, you can go out to our swag shop at vermlandradio.com, and you can go in our store and buy some of our lovely merchandise. We actually don't see any of the money. It goes to support the station, support the podcast, support all the websites and all that stuff. We've not made a penny off this in years.
No, we don't.
We pay. We pay
pay.
this
Yeah.
because we enjoy it.
We enjoy talking to you every week, either in English or in French. And maybe one day Akai is going to be able to do a French one. But
I would love to do a French one, but I have to learn French. And you know what that's going to take?
Too much time.
I have tried the apps. I have tried a lot of the apps, right?
okay.
I don't learn languages that well that way. I'm more of the immersive, okay, hand me the wrench, but say it in French.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm on the same
read the
thing.
French book.
Yeah. I'm learning Spanish, and it's hard learning Spanish on an app. So
Yeah.
surely easy, but it's hard. So it's the remembering. You know, you got to practice it a lot. So
Oh, I can say it when they say it on the app, and I can kind of read it when they put it up there on the screen. I'm like, oh, okay, I think I know what that means. But all the language stuff that I ever learned over the years, immersive learning has definitely been the best way to do it.
well, the practice
For me.
Yeah, practice. Yeah, that's it. Ladies and gents, thank you very much. We're going to see you all next week, same time, same hour, same thing, just with another different episode. So have a nice one, everybody. And thank you, Samurai. I know you had issues.
Truck Sam.
here.
Yep.
Have a nice one. Bye.